Hello, everyone. Uh, we are back again today to talk about the physical aspect of well-being. We have with us today Margaret Underwood. She is an educational kinesiologist and educator from New Zealand, and she's a dear friend of mine. She has a deep interest in how people learn and also in helping people access more of their potential. Currently, she's caring for her 100-year-old mother at home and juggling teaching Tai Chi, one-on-one balance sessions, and teaching via Zoom when that is possible. She is a long-time student of Jin Shin Jyutsu, and Margaret uses it daily with her mother, who's 100 years old, to keep her healthy. Welcome, Margaret. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come on our channel. We're so happy to. So, Margaret, my first question to you would be, what is Jin Shin Jyutsu?
So, Jin Shin Jyutsu is a hands-on healing technique from Japan. And basically the idea is that you're just using your hands like jumper cables to connect points on the body so that the energy will unblock and begin to flow. And I've seen it do remarkable things, honestly, like people with strokes who, one woman I worked with, her left side of her body was completely contracted. And after I'd been there for, I was using Jin Shin Jyutsu. I used Jin Shin Jyutsu and educate with her, you know. But I was doing Jin Shin Jyutsu actually on her legs, on her feet. And I was watching this hand that for 3 years had been so tight and so painful, just unfolding out and relaxing down.
Wow.
It was remarkable.
Awesome.
So that lady so now is able to hold things, put her arm in a sleeve, walk, do things that they told her she would never do again. So I have a lot of respect for Jin Shin Jyutsu.
Awesome. You do a lot of practice with seniors, right?
Yes, I have quite a number of older people who do Tai Chi with me, either live or on Zoom. And of course I have my mum and her friends to use different things with.
And what are the benefits that you see when you use it for seniors?
You know, I've been doing hands-on with my mum for, I think I've been here for about 7 years looking after her. And in that time, I've seen her health in some ways actually improve. And some of the carers who come regularly tell me that they like coming here because my mother gets better, which they're not used to seeing with people her age. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So what I see is the energy is more balanced. She's very relaxed. She's sleeping very well every night. I give her Jin Shin Jyutsu when I pop her into bed, and then I just give her a little treatment when she's in bed. And she just relaxes and goes off to sleep. And she sleeps very well, much better than I do. She doesn't have to worry about She doesn't worry about herself. I worry.
Because seniors always tell me that the older they are getting, the less sleep that they are getting. So so that's awesome.
Yeah.
When they sleep more, then they heal better, and then they're more energetic during the day. True.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
So Margaret, would you be able to share with us some strategies or tips that our seniors can use on a daily basis for their well-being?
Sure. Yeah. So the fundamental thing that I teach everybody is to hold their fingers one at a time. So just wrap the fingers of one hand around your thumb, and there's no pressure. It's just a very light hold. And actually, the thumb is related to your stomach and spleen, And so this hold helps with the attitude of worry.
Okay.
So in Jin Shin Jyutsu believes that there are 5 attitudes, all fundamentally coming from fear. And those attitudes are what impede the flow of energy through the body. And by holding the fingers, you're able to soften the attitudes. So holding the thumb really helps with worry. And I've had some pretty interesting experiences because I think I got the worry gene from my mother and uncle. And but I noticed that my mother doesn't worry as much as she used to, not at all, hardly. And so every night what I do is I sit beside her bed and I just take both her thumbs and hold them in my hands. And when I feel there's just a feeling that I've done enough, then I move on to the next finger. But you can do it for yourself. I do it for myself when I lie in bed at night. So holding the thumb just helps to harmonize the body, you know, reach a harmonious place. And then if you hold the index finger, the index finger has to do with the attitude of fear.
Okay.
And it helps to balance our kidneys and bladder. So very important. And it really helps to, if you're thinking of the positive, it helps to bring us into flow. So you can hold your index finger and think about flowing through your life. Yeah. And then the middle finger is the attitude here is anger. And this is the liver and gallbladder. So by holding my middle finger, I harmonize that attitude of anger and also the liver and gallbladder. The ring finger has to do with grief. It works with the lungs and the large intestine. And the positive attitude that it's bringing is joy. We all need more joy in our lives, right?
Definitely.
Good to be happy. And then the little finger has to do with the heart, and the attitude here is trying too hard. So in Jin Shin Jyutsu, you always have to watch your language, because if you say, I'm trying to do it, people will say, oh, yes, well, you hold your little finger to stop trying. But it really helps with the positive piece of laughter. So I hold each of those fingers, and then finally I just put my fingertips in the center of each palm. So I just hold the center of each palm, and that just brings equilibrium to the whole system. And it's like a total body balancer. You can do it just cupping your hands together like this, holding both palms together, and you can feel the energy start to move as you do it. Yeah. So that's one thing that I do with my mum, and I'm pretty religious about it. I do it every night when I pop her into bed. And as I said, I've noticed some, what I would say, unusual improvements in her health over the long term. It's not a short-term fix. It's a long-term thing, I think.
Okay. And do you do the hold the fingers of both the hands, or just only one hand?
I hold both hands at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. When you're doing it with somebody else, it's just a really lovely thing to do, to sit with somebody, you know, and just hold their fingers one at a time. It's very calming, relaxing, centering for the person. And afterwards they feel better.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, if you have a bad cough and you hold your ring finger, it really helps. I've seen people really coughing a lot, and if I hold their ring fingers, it's just like a switch, it just stops.
Oh, that's
Not
awesome.
every time, but lots of times I've seen that, and I go, wow, wow, that's amazing.
That's well, because now people are again starting with coughing and cold and flu symptoms all over again.
Yeah.
That's going to be very helpful. And
I hope so.
and sorry, and how many minutes do you hold it for?
Well, you can hold each finger for 5 minutes, or you can just hold each finger for as long as it feels right.
Okay.
So there's that aspect of listening to yourself, right? But for people who are just starting off, I would say hold for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Okay.
And this is the sort of thing that you can do if you're sitting watching television, if you're sitting talking to somebody, if you're at the theater, you're at the movies. I mean, it's really easy to just one at a time go through your hands holding each finger.
Yeah, it's very, very simple.
Yeah, I do it when I'm talking with friends. I mean, if I'm out, yeah, sitting in a plane, train, or a bus, all good places.
Oh, right. Thank you so much for showing us that technique, Margaret.
इस एपिसोड में मैंने इंटरव्यू लिया है मार्गरेट अंडरवुड का, जो कि न्यूजीलैंड से है, एक एजुकेटर है और जिनसिन जित्सु और ताई ची की प्रैक्टिशनर है। इस यहाँ पर उसने बात किया है कि जिनसिन जित्सु एक सिंपल सेल्फ हेल्प प्रैक्टिस है और इसमें हमको सिर्फ अपनी उंगलियों को इस तरह से रैप करना है और पकड़ना है थोड़ी देर के लिए, बहुत ही लाइटली, बिल्कुल भी प्रेशर नहीं देना है। और ये 2 से 5 मिनट के बीच में इसको होल्ड करना है। एक होल्ड कर लेंगे आप, उसके बाद आप दूसरी फिंगर को होल्ड करेंगे और फिर आप तीसरी को, इस तरह से आप पूरी 10 उंगलियां को आप होल्ड करेंगे। अब ये क्यों हम होल्ड करते हैं? तो अकॉर्डिंग टू जिनसिन जित्सु, हमारे हर फिंगर्स में एनर्जी जाती है, एनर्जी के पाथवेज है, जो मैंने मेरे इंटरव्यू में भी मैंने बताया कि अकॉर्डिंग टू चाइनीज मेरिडियन सिस्टम हमारी उंगलियां में एनर्जी पाथवेज होती है, जिसको होल्ड करने से हमारे जो इमोशंस है वो बैलेंस हो जाते हैं। तो अकॉर्डिंग टू जिनसिन जित्सु 5 उंगलियों में 5 अलग अलग इमोशंस है, जिसे जिनसिन जित्सु में एटीट्यूड कहते हैं। तो थंब में वरी है, सेकंड में फियर, थर्ड उंगली में मिडिल फिंगर में एंगर, फोर्थ में सैडनेस और फिफ्थ उंगली में नर्वसनेस। तो अगर ये प्रैक्टिस हम करते हैं और इसको ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है, आप कभी भी कर सकते हो, टीवी देखते हुए, कहाँ पर भी बैठे हो, आप फ्रेंड से बात कर रहे हो या कभी भी आपको टाइम मिले, आप आराम से ऐसे कर सकते हो। आप सोने के वक्त भी आप करेंगे। और वो कहती है कि जब वो ऐसे करती है तो बिफोर वो 10th उंगली तक आती है नींद आ जाती है। और वो ये अपनी 100 ईयर ओल्ड मदर के साथ में भी ये यूज करती है। और उसे वो एग्जाम्पल उसने दिया है कि एनालॉजी दिया है कि जैसे कि एक गाड़ी जब बंद हो जाती है तो उसको जंपर केबल्स देने में आते हैं ताकि वो गाड़ी किक स्टार्ट हो सके। उस तरह से जब हम ये करते हैं और वो एक साथ में दोनों हाथ की उंगलियां पकड़ती है उसकी मदर के लिए, तो जब वो ये करती है तो उनकी वो देखती है कि उनकी मदर की हेल्थ अभी इवन दो 100 ईयर्स की है, वो बेटर है, कम वरी करती है और बेटर स्लीप उसको मिलती है, नींद मिलती है। तो आप भी जरूर ये प्रैक्टिस कीजिए और हमें कमेंट्स में बता दीजिए कि आपको कैसे फील हो रहा है ये करके। थैंक यू।